everyone, I'm Ming, chef, culinary consultant, and host of the On the Red Dot series Food Fight. Chilli Crab, Bak Kut Teh, and Nasi Lemak are much loved dishes on both sides of the causeway in Singapore and Malaysia. So it's no surprise that there's been a fight to claim ownership of these dishes. Where are they from? What are their origin points? Whose version of the three dishes do you prefer? Singapore? Malaysia? Let us know in the comments below, but be kind. Meanwhile, we went in search of origin stories and differences on both sides of the causeway. Here's a quick look at how my search went. In Langkawi, Wong Feng equals chili crab. Oldest seafood restaurant on the island. They've been serving chili crab since 1958, possibly before that. So 这个辣椒是你的盐巴是你自己做的哦。
对。
OK， 可以跟我们讲大概里面有什么东西吗？
有辣椒咯，
不只是有辣椒，对吗？
这个不用讲。
But even before Wong Feng started selling crabs, the Malay fishermen in Langkawi and along the coast of the Malay Peninsula were already living off the sea. To help me pursue this lead, I reached out to a MasterChef Malaysia contestant whose family has been cooking a chili crab dish called ketam balado for generations.
I see you've added the lemongrass in there.
Yeah, this is the green and the red chili.
Green and red chili, okay.
Yeah. So we don't put any sauce or anything, but we might put some water afterward.
This Minangkabau style chili crab dish, it's a little bit different from the chili crab dishes that I'm familiar with in that it's drier. But it is the version that I grew up eating, Singapore chili crab, that has gained probably the most recognition internationally.
我们就利用这种烧它来，先给它煮到那个它先有那个熟的味道，鲜甜的味道。
He also added eggs.
因为我自己出来开一个小的餐馆，这个叫龙凤，就是在那个丹用巴嘎那个金华戏院楼下，开始做的一定要想几道菜出来吧，放一点蛋下去啊，好像好看一点。
哦，比较美。
因为我们做厨师都要试香味嘛。
This is our version, and our version is known around the world as Singaporean chili crab.
Yes. There are many versions of chili crab around the world, but this is our version. This one is the most famous one.
Hello. I've been told you have proof that Malaysia invented Bak Kut Teh.
因为有一个传言，就是由Bak Kut Teh的名字就是我爷爷的名字演变成来。所以他刚开始卖这个肉骨汤的时候，人没有叫肉骨茶的嘛。久而久之，很多人就是讲，你去哪里吃啊？我们去肉骨地那边吃。因为我的爷爷名字叫做李文帝，所以演变成咗肉骨茶这3个字出来。
Bak Kut Teh.
So if all this is to be believed, it would seem that Malaysia has quite compelling evidence that they created Bak Kut Teh.
这个地方呢是巴生呢最早期就是苦力在这边做工的地方，他们就是可能要大清早起来做苦力，所以他们呢在肉骨汤里面呢都会加上了一些药材，那这些药材可以帮到他们去风湿啦，也是取暖的。肉骨茶一定要有药材的。
Lee Boon Tay, the man who purportedly gave Bak Kut Teh its name, started his store in 1938. But Singapore had coolies too in that period of time.
The coolies working at Singapore River have their version of Bak Kut Teh, which they make with low quality pork. The first version of Bak Kut Teh is herbal and it is both Hokkien and Teochew. Now, the Hokkien Bak Kut Teh remain herbal. The Teochew Bak Kut Teh, around about the 50s, 60s, start to evolve. They remove the herbs and they put in premium pepper plus premium cuts of meat, and it became our Singapore peppery Teochew Bak Kut Teh.
潮州的肉骨茶就是这个配料就是这样，比较清淡。新加坡人对这个福建式的比较不感兴趣。如果你要尝试福建式肉骨茶，就去马来西亚。
there are literally hundreds of kinds of sambal all around the Malay archipelago. And the one that is used in Nasi Lemak is the type that is very common on the West Coast. So there you begin to get the sense that Nasi Lemak did originate from somewhere along the west coast of the Malay Peninsula.
Which doesn't include Singapore. I wonder how people in Singapore would feel about that.
We have it for breakfast, we have it lunch, we have it for supper. I think there's nothing wrong for us if we want to claim it as our national dish as well, because we just simply love it.
In the beginning, you know, Singapore and Malaysia, same. But in the 70s, in the 80s, you know, we got a lot more busier. We could not spend more than 10, 15 minutes to have our Nasi Lemak before heading off to work, right? We just didn't have that luxury of sitting down, having 4 or 5 dishes. This is Singapore. In Singapore, in the 80s, you find a lot more processed foods coming in. And it wasn't the Malay stalls that sold Nasi Lemak with processed food. It was mainly the Chinese stall. And here, you have the Malaysian variety that you can find in the Nasi Lemak stall. You have sambal sotong, where they use actually fresh squid. You have sambal paru. Nothing is processed. Everything is cooked from scratch. Different sambals. What would you prefer?
This Malay dish might have originated from the west coast of the Malay Peninsula, but it didn't remain there. Do you accept that Nasi Lemak could be Singaporean?
The version with sausage, yes, it's all yours. You can take that and own it.
Guys, the entire Southeast Asia has been one region sharing similar ingredients, similar people, similar borders for a very, very, very long time. So it's obvious that our dishes are going to have similar stories, similar paths of evolution, similar ingredients too. But quality and originality stand apart. And we discovered this a lot because dishes that did not come from the origin point were actually better than older versions of the dish that we discovered. So I want to let everyone know that just because a dish has originated and can be proven to have come from a space and is older and has more heritage does not guarantee that that's going to be the best version of that dish. In 10, 20, 50 years time, people are going to look back on these videos and go, hey, that's such a quaint version of chili crab. But it's nothing like the chili crab we eat today. Food will continue to evolve, and I can't wait to see what happens to the chili crab of the future. I think it's a good time to give a good shout out to the researchers and the scriptwriters as well as the crew that went on this shoot with me, because honestly it's not easy lah, okay, sitting down and listening to a makcik, right, who is close to 80 years old, recount things from her childhood, and every time she retells the story it's a different version, and she's got like 5 versions, and there are like 4 or 5 family members there, and her friends telling them, hey no, you got it wrong lah, it's actually from here, it's from this place. And then it just gets so messy. But we think we did a pretty good job by nailing down the actual origin points, and we did our research very rigorously. So a big shout out to the teams that put that together. Catch all 4 full episodes of Food Fight on CNA Insider's YouTube channel. Remember to hit like and subscribe, and also give me your comments, like bring it on, your worst comments live.